What's the hard truth about whiskey? Let's find out. What is going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand new video. Today we are finally doing a review. We've got 2 bottles of whiskey on the bar top today from Hard Truth Distilling Company out of Indiana. On our left we've got their bourbon, and on our right we've got their rye. Before we get into the video though, I want to know if you've ever had any Hard Truth products down in the comments below. I know they have a bunch of different offerings, so let me know which one you've had down below. If you enjoy the content, make sure you smash that like button. It lets me know that you enjoy the content. If you really enjoyed the content or you're brand new and you don't want to miss another one of my videos, smash that subscribe button because we are on the road to 20,000 subscribers and I want every single one of you to be on that journey with me. And one more thing, check out the Patreon down below. Like I said previously, we just did our first barrel pick. Patreon's got that bottle. It is in the mail for them right now. If you want your chance to get your own Everyday Drinker barrel pick in the future, only way to do that is be part of the Patreon. But let's get into the nitty gritty of what this video is all about. We've got Hard Truth Bourbon on the left. We've got the Hard Truth Rye on the right. And I don't want to botch any of this stuff up. So on the left here, we've got the bourbon. The bourbon's coming in at 73% corn, 19% rye, and 8% malted barley. What I read here, which is really interesting, is that it is produced in small batches of 30 or fewer barrels. So I don't know if that hurts it, if that hinders it, if it helps it. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if that helps the master distiller be able to narrow it down on that flavor profile that they're always looking for in these small batches. But hey, who knows? But on the right-hand side here on the rye, this is a really interesting mash bill in my opinion. We got 55% rye, 36% corn, and 9% malted barley. And just like the bourbon, this is also done in 30 or fewer barrels in the small batch. And these have been opening up and they filled the room up pretty much. The bourbon's coming in at 90 proof. The rye is 93 proof. And, you know, I'm always looking for barrel proof, but I think that for my first drink back from being sick for over a week, I think these lower proof bottles right here might be a good place to start. And, yeah, we're feeling better finally. I can't wait to get in. So let's get into the bourbon. We always go with the bourbon, right? Bourbon first, bourbon world, bourbon me, bourbon who, bourbon you. So let's get into the nose. Lots of honey coming off of that. Sweet cookies. A little lemon, but there's also this earthy tone that's in there. I get a really nice butterscotch. Sugar cookies and a little dusting of cinnamon. I get a lot of corn, a little bit of popcorn coming off of this. And it does have some nice oaky presence. I don't think that this is super old. It's most likely under 5 years in my opinion. And the nose is really pleasant. Is it the best nose I've ever had? Definitely not. But I think that what this could do is that you never know. It could give those other bottles like Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace, Evan Williams, things along those lines that it could give those bottles a run for their money. So let's get into the palate, see what this bad boy has to offer on the palate. It's got this medicinal quality that goes through. It coats your entire palate. It's got this little bitter tinge in the very beginning, but that dissipates very, very quickly. It's sweet, it's honey-like, it's butterscotchy, it's very, very candy-like, but you do notice that it is watered down. It is proofed down, and you know, it's not my favorite thing in the world having a 90 proof bourbon, but it can go to show what a good bourbon can be for a newcomer into the world of whiskey. And I think that these craft distillers are starting to give these other big name brands a run for their money, because they're branching out, they're doing different things, they're aging differently, they're toasting differently, they're using different wheat, they're using different corn, they're using different rye. They're doing different things that these other distilleries that have been named staples in our community. And I think that what that does is it opens it up, and other names such as Hard Truth here might be able to find a little following. And I think that, you know, we need more of that. See, I like what this has to offer. I think that with a little bit more age, maybe bump the proof up just a little bit. Maybe bump it up to like 95. See what 95 proof has to offer in this small batch, because I think that might go super, super far. Give us that 5 extra proof points, maybe even 10. At 100 proof, let's see what this bad boy has to offer, because right now it's good, but I think that it can be great for a small batch offering. And without further ado, I think I've talked enough about the bourbon. Let's move over to the rye. This one's bottled a little bit higher. It's at 93 proof. And that's a little bit darker than the bourbon in color. It's a little bit more brown. And I get a really, really interesting mesquite smokiness coming off of this. It's got a rich, deep honey. It's got some cookie in there too. It reminds me of like a honey graham cookie. Light fruits. I dig the nose. I think this nose is a little bit better than the bourbon nose. So let's get in the palate and see what this rye has to offer. I get a herbal tea. Not a black tea, almost like a meadow, like a chamomile in a way. It's earthy. It's got those honey tones in there that are sweet, but almost like it's sweet, but it's not too sweet. It's really nice. It doesn't have that like super sweet sugary note in there. You get that rye spice. You're getting that cinnamon, the clove, the nutmeg. You're getting those dry baking spices come through very, very strong on this. And I really, really do like what that has to offer. I don't know if I could pick a favorite out of these two because they are so different but so unique in their own way. Would I recommend picking up either one of these? I would recommend the bourbon a little bit over the rye. Personally, I think that this one might be a little bit more palatable and understanding for a lot more people out there, because this one does have that underlying mesquite smokiness to me. And I think that the sweetness of the bourbon is going to be what a lot more people enjoy out of this bottle, whereas this one is a very spicy rye in my opinion. So with that said, my go-to out of these two would probably be the bourbon. The rye is really good. If you're looking for something that's a little bit different, definitely get the rye. But for me, I'm going for the bourbon. I want to know what you guys would have picked down in the comments below. Would you have gone with the bourbon? Would you have gone with the rye? I went with the bourbon. You let me know what you would have. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Till next time, this has been Nathan with The Everyday Drinker. Cheers.